Hey guys, hoping all is well with everyone. In this video, we're going to be continuing the read along of the 7th level by Jody Feldman, and we're going to be starting off with chapter 15 today. As always, I'll be showing you guys any pictures as we come across them, but definitely, as always, feel free to follow along. Chapter 15. I run toward the office and stop. If she's back and I come in without my books, back upstairs to my locker. Right, left, right, click. I grab my stuff, slam the locker, shut the lock, and slide down the banister one more time. It's faster. I run the corner, ready with an excuse, but I get lucky. The lights are still on in Mrs. Pinchin's office. Alone, 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 I say to the walls. 5 minutes? The voice bellows from near the coat rack. I whip my head toward her desk. Her chair creeps around. Fingertips, chin, pendant, drawn on eyebrows. Busted. I've been sitting here for 7, she says. I didn't think you were here, she says. Remember, Travis, things aren't always as they appear. No kidding. I wasn't trying to take advantage, Mrs. Pinchin. My legs got crazy and needed to stretch. And the computer, I had to use one, and I didn't want to touch yours without permission. And I lost track of time. You can look in the bathroom. I joke. No flooding? She doesn't move. I wish she'd yell at me. My eyeballs orbit, looking for a place to land. They find the window and cars going down the street. Sorry you couldn't pick me up today, I say. Everything all right? Everything's fine. Then she says nothing again. Has everything been fine all along? Was this a test, and I failed? Should I stay after again today? She taps her fingertips to her chin. Let's just say your time this morning isn't your own. It hasn't been my own since last Wednesday. But I stay quiet. I assume you have a paper and pencil in your backpack. Yes, ma'am. How about a pen? Do you have a pen? Pens are nicer. Yes, I have a pen. And don't you think it was good of Mr. Mackenzie to pick you up this morning? I get it now. Yes, ma'am, I say. So it would be the right thing to write him a really nice thank you note. She gives me a big fake smile, then clicks on the lights. Instead of ripping the holes of the paper, I open my notebook to get out 2 sheets. It would behoove me to write a thank you note to Mrs. Pinchin too. I have no clue what to thank her for besides the snacks, but by the time I finish, I thank her for understanding how a boy's legs need to move, for letting me out early on Thursday, for smiling at me sometimes, for letting me go to the legend event, and not for suspending me to begin with. I'm writing the V in Sincerely Travis when the first bell rings. I suspect her to tell me to finish and leave, but she still sits, fingertips at her chin. You've been here these few days, Travis, she finally says, but I feel I barely know you. Before you go, tell me something about yourself that you haven't told me yet. Why not? If I get her to like me, maybe she'll give me an extra chance sometime. Maybe the legend will too. Like, what do you want to know? I know you have a dog and no brothers or sisters. You like moon cookies and soccer and riding your bike. But what else do you like? What else do you do? I don't know. Normal stuff. My mom and dad had me doing chores all weekend, and I'm still banned from our computer, which is why I needed to use one in the library this morning. I understand. She waits for more. What kind of honest and decent thing could I tell an assistant principal in charge of discipline? Something tame. Something boring. Something besides hating Randall. There's really not much else. But I'm great at power washing the garage door, and I can cook a little. And, oh, I have a small stamp collection. That sounds really tame. She smiles. I have some stamps too, and I also like to cook and grow vegetables. Oh, I say, trying to think of something else to get rid of the weirdness that comes when teachers and principals start sounding like normal people. And people don't usually know what I'm pretty good at reading maps. Ah, like the fire escape map. Road maps too, which my parents say is ironic because I'm not so great at following directions. She laughs. If I ever need a navigator, I'll know who to call. It's even weirder that any principal might call for my help. I smile anyway and hold up the letters. Should I mail these? The second bell rings. I'll take care of them. She takes the letters and hands me a class pass. You're excused, Mr. Raines, she says, almost as if she's disappointed. Maybe she's lonely at home and this is all the company she gets. Maybe I should visit her occasionally. Maybe I'm going nuts. I grab my backpack. Bye, Mrs. Pynchon. I head out the door and I turn around. Being in here with you hasn't been as bad as I thought. Things aren't always as they appear, are they? She smiles at me. I give her my best smile back, but her words are sticking with me. Things aren't always as they appear. What's not always as it appears? The answer to the puzzle? I stop short of my math class and look down the hallway. Deserted. I pull the puzzle back out. Quickly. Mrs. Pynchon put a time on my class pass. I am toward the edge of the river, in the midst of the tropical tree, at the very start of the island, but never inside of the sea. I push birds and monkeys from my head and walk into class, and when I hand the pass to my teacher, I get more jeers. Why'd Mrs. Pynchon keep me late? Maddie was right. Everyone would have forgotten if I'd kept under the radar, but this puts neon lights around my head. No one would believe me if I told them it's all good, so I play my normal character and grin and slink into my seat while the teacher wisely ignores me. I wish everyone else would, but the teasing follows me all day and shows puzzle solving from my mind, until science. Mrs. Bloom's explaining biotic and abiotic factors in the ecosystem, and I totally understood those. Last week in Mrs. Pynchon's office, I read ahead, so instead of listening, I read the important words from the puzzle. River, toward edge, tree, midst, middle, island, start, sea, not in. I need to forget nature and think about what? What? I can't think about anything else because Mrs. Bloom's voice keeps breaking my concentration. I want to shout for her to be quiet, but that I already understand all this. The biotic factors are the living organisms, like the trees and monkeys and birds, and that's been driving me crazy. The abiotic factors are the non-living things, like minerals and soil and weather. Idea! I've been all over all the biotic answers in my mind. What if this is an abiotic answer? I poke and push at the paper with my pen. The paper came from a tree, but it's not living anymore. Does that make it abiotic now? I poke my pen on the paper again, and too much. Great. Now the ink's leaking out. I entertain myself by moving the pen point over the little ink river on the paper, and I start writing river with the puddle. I am toward the edge of the river, not the biotic river, the abiotic river. The word on the paper, with abiotic letters. An R. It's toward the edge of the word river and in the midst of the word tree. No R in an island, so that's not the answer, but maybe I'm onto something. And here's some of the notes that he was taking while he was trying to solve the puzzle. Next letter, I. At the very start of island, toward the edge of river, not in sea, not in tree either. Wait, what kind of tree? Tropical tree? With an I in its midst. The answer is I. I am so slow. The puzzle tells you the answer. I am toward the edge of the river. I am about to beat myself over the head. But who cares now? I did it! With a day to spare. Now to get the answer posted. When will there be no eyes in the hall? Now? I rub my finger across the ink puddle, smear a line onto a clean page, then dot it with my fingerprint. I let it dry before I stuff it into my pocket, then raise my inky hands. Should I go to the bathroom? I ask, or should I use the sinks in here and try not to disturb the class? Mrs. Bloom nearly groans, but she points to the door, and in 10 giant strides I'm heading upstairs. The drama room is around the corner at the very end. If I can make it past 8 more classroom doors with no eyes around, I am done with this puzzle. A kid comes out of the French room, but he passes me going the other way. A teacher turns off her lights. Movie time, I guess. But that puts me in a spotlight for a second. I'm just a room away. When I get there, in one motion, I'll stop, look for eyes, grab a. Great. Why didn't I bring a thumbtack, or a nail, or a javelin, or something with a point? There's no extras on the bulletin board. Just tacks holding up the cast list, practice schedule, costume information, meeting that was last week. I untuck that paper and start to crumple it. But what if it's a legend assignment for someone else? No reason why the old note and mine can't share. I fan the two papers and tack them together. Then I'm off to the bathroom. The thing about ink is you can't exactly wash it off with school strength soap. I get to a point where the ink stops rubbing onto the paper towels. I should head straight back to science. No way someone had time to spot my eye and put another puzzle into my locker. But I can't help myself. Even before I spin the lock, I see something barely in the vent. A smaller, non-shiny blue envelope like the warning one. No! I can't wait. No eyes in the hall. I open it. You are about to enter greatness. The secrets are about to be revealed. Follow the directions exactly, and you will become one of us. The Legend of Lauer. Chapter 16. All right! Does this mean I'm totally forgiven? Almost done? Back to normal? When I'm in the legend, though, I'll never be normal again. The legend! It's signed the legend! And soon I'll know all the secrets. I soar back to class and don't really care that Mrs. Bloom glares at me when I walk in. I hold up my stained hands. The ink wouldn't stop rubbing off the paper towels. People are snickering. Good going, Johnny Flood, Randall whispers. He looks to Marco to add to my misery, but Marco shakes his head and stays quiet. I can ignore the drama because I'm not as big of a screw-up as they think. Also, because I have more important things to think about, like why I left the new envelope in my locker. What if it's really the next puzzle in disguise? I write down every word, at least the ones I can remember, so I can start solving. Wait, the puzzle comes with instructions. This note didn't. It's probably just a note. But if it is the legend, I'm still flying so fast it doesn't bother me they announced the winner of the Chase Macklin prize box. Some 8th grader got an MP3 player, a $100 music download card, every one of Chase's CDs, and one of his guitars, signed. If I'd won, I swear I would have learned how to play the guitar. Then I could have written Chase to tell him how he changed my life, and he would have written back and maybe I'd get to meet him. I wish he'd show up here one day so I could finally see him in person. My mom claims he babysat me for when I was still in my crib and he was in college, but it'd be hard to believe any rock star changed my diapers unless he told me himself. Right now, though, I'd be satisfied with another puzzle in my locker. There's nothing after school, nothing in my gym locker either, but at least I'm here, changing for baseball practice even though it's hard to concentrate on it. The legend. Matti and Kip and I are tossing around the ball before practice, and the sun is shining and the breeze is blowing. Then an oversized shadow comes around. Good, you're back. Randall leers at me, then thumps ahead to torment Marco. Why should he care? I say to Matti and Kip. So he can get me into trouble again? That was weird, says Matti. I know, Kip says. Maybe he's hatching an evil, new plot against you, Trav, and it starts with being nice. Maybe he actually decided it's time to be nice. Kip and I stare at Matti like she's nuts. Maybe he was being a loser. I toss the ball to her. You can't trust a guy who snipes at you in science, then says nice stuff out here. Either you're my friend or you're not. Which means, says Matti, that I can't make fun of you again or you'll accuse me of being a hypocrite. I run to center field, pretending I didn't hear that. I feel Matti and Kip right behind me. I know you heard that, she yells. He heard that, she says to Kip. I laugh and go through practice feeling really good about pretty much everything, except for how many questions I have about the legend. Me plus curious equals trouble. It did when I almost fell inside the penguin area at the zoo. And it did when I got lost on a field trip to the Missouri Botanical Garden. But that wasn't my fault. The teacher should have either led us in the maze or they should have pointed out where it started. It's not my curiosity that's frustrating me when I get up to bat, though. It's my minuscule strike zone. No pitcher can find it, which gives me nothing to swing at. So I walk to first without satisfaction of hitting something. 3 times! I'm up again, this time with the oaf pitching. If he doesn't give me a ball to hit, I may come to the mound and hit him. He winds up in pitches, but the ball's too high. I swing anyway. I need to. Strike one! I wish Mrs. Pinchin had only one strike against me. Randall hurls it again. This one's almost in my strike zone. I haul off a big swing. Strike two! How'd I miss that? And what am I missing with the new envelope? Why does it feel like a rerun? Except the signature. Maybe they're messing with my head like Randall the oaf does. He takes his wind-up and pitches. I wait on it. Wait on it. Wait on it. It's there. In my zone. I smash the ball right at his oaf gut. I drop the bat, take a step, watch for him to get knocked down by the force. I cannot believe it. He catches it. He wins again. Third out of the inning. All the fielders come in to congratulate Randall like he's won the World Series. I tear off my batting helmet. Coach Ford pulls me aside. Keep hitting them like that, Raines, and you'll be a star. I smile. I want to say I'd hit them like that if they keep pitches like that, but I'd be complimenting the oaf. I grab my glove from the bench, turn around, and Randall's right there. Good hit, he says. Good pitch, my mouth says before my brain catches up. What is it about him? I run with Kip to take the field. Why does he pretend to be all nice sometimes? Kip shakes his head. Split personality? No, he's devious. He knows how to get everyone else in trouble and make the teacher believe he's the poster boy for perfect student of the year. How does he get away with this oafish stares or almost killing Jackie Muggs in 4th grade or breaking Natalie Levin's leg last year? Why hasn't anyone shipped him off to a juvenile detention center? Why does Marco keep hanging around with him? We should really help Marco get away. After practice, we change in the locker rooms. Then, like usual, we go to our individual hall lockers. In a minute, Matti and Kip will come to mine. Then we'll ride our bikes together until we peel off toward our own street. I tug open my locker, and it's almost like my birthday. Sitting on the shelf, like one shiny blue present, is a new envelope. No one's coming. I unwind the string and unwind, but Matti and Kip round the corner. Gotta get my envelope home. I grab for my backpack, and the envelope slides out of my grasp, dives to the floor. I plunk my backpack on top of it and, look out! Don't know what she tripped over, but Maddie's suddenly careening into Kip, who watches her, and gives me time to get the envelope into the backpack. When I look up, Kip's looking at Maddie like in some horribly mushy movie. No! They cannot ride off together into the sunset. Ignored me, break up, and sometimes enemies then make me to choose who to be friends with. That'd be as easy as deciding whether to cut off my left leg or my right. I get between them, fast. What was that? What was what? Maddie says, straightening herself out and fumbling with her backpack. Since when do you trip and fall? Since my backpack strap came loose and got tangled in my legs. She holds up the backpack. Good as new. But even Kip's looking at her funny like he doesn't believe her. And when we ride home, I can exhale only when he turns toward his street and Maddie doesn't follow him. An hour later, things still feel weird. I break my grounding rules and call Maddie. What's going on between you and Kip? I ask. It's so much easier to be blunt without big brown eyes or hers making me feel even shorter than I am. I thought you were grounded from the phone. I think you're stalling. I take the cordless to the front window to watch for my parents. It's almost 5:30. I don't understand your question, she says. What's not to understand? Are you and Kip going out? There, I said it. Going out? She practically howls with laughter. Going out, she says a little too loud. Going out? She's protesting too much. Travis, I am not going out with Kip. That would be like going out with my brother. But you like your brother. And I like Kip. And I like you. And I like puppies. And I like hot fudge. And the only two of the above that have any chance of touching my lips are puppies and hot fudge, she says. And where in the world would you get such a stupid idea? You mean like when one of the most coordinated people I know? Thank you. Trippin lands in a hug with my other best friend. Then you give me this look. Like I appreciate he didn't let me fall flat on my face and break my nose? Well, it didn't look that way to me. My mom's car turns into our driveway, followed by my dad's. Gotta go, I say. As I run to put the phone away, I picture her face again, and I know she's either delusional or lying. Something's going on between the two of them. I can't do anything about Kip and Maddie now, but I can look inside the envelope. I go to my room so my parents don't suspect I've been doing anything besides homework. Curry follows me. I start to close my door, but I open it again because I normally keep it open until they get home, and I don't need to add my parents to the list of people watching me even more closely than ever. I sit on the floor with my bed as a backrest, and Curry curls up and uses my leg as a headrest. I grab a notebook and pencil and pretend I'm writing something. Both my parents come in to say hi and to thank me for following the rules, and I really don't feel bad because I was only on the phone with Maddie for a minute. Besides, it was urgent. If I hadn't talked to her, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on anything tonight. When they go downstairs to make dinner, I dump the coin out of the envelope and put it in with the other two. I stick out my tongue and the unexplainable math sequence still in my drawer. Then I pull out the new puzzle paper, which makes my eyes jumpy. Place these items in a plain white envelope. Deposit the envelope in the office attendance box by the end of school on Wednesday. What items? Just looks like a bunch of blobs and lines to me, Curie. I hold the paper up to her face, but I'm afraid if she licks it, the lines will turn into smears, and I'll have less than zero chance of solving what must be a puzzle here. Idea! I pull out the paper I got today. Maybe it's a clue for this puzzle. You are about to enter greatness. The secrets are about to be revealed. Follow the directions exactly, and you will become one of us. The Legend of Lauer. I stare at it for 5 minutes, but there's no clue here. Maybe this is just encouragement. Keep your nose clean, Travis, and you'll be rewarded. And this is what the puzzle looked like when he opened the envelope. I look back at my lines. Idea. They look like a barcode. What if I scan it at a store and it tells me to bring in a package of cookies? The attendance lady would like that. Not so much if it's for vinegar. But what if it's not a barcode and I waste a trip to the store and an excuse to get there? I need to check the pantry. I head downstairs and the sound of TV drifts from the den. I miss that sound. I tiptoe toward it, taking a huge step over the part of the floor that creaks, hoping both my mom and dad are in the kitchen making dinner. I get on my knees and shoot across the wood floor until I can see half the TV screen over the back of the couch, without parents' heads. It's nothing I want to see, the news, but it's TV. I stay behind the couch and watch for about 5 minutes before Curie notices me. She scampers over and my mom's head pops up, apparently from its lying down position. Busted. I was coming down to get something, I say, but then I stop to hear the interesting story about identity theft. Her face says she doesn't believe me, but she finds me amusing, even when she grills me about calling Maddie. I can't believe she checked Redial on the phone. But I don't get annoyed, partly because I am guilty as charged, and mostly because she's not mad at me after I tell her it was important. I take no punishment as a prize, go look at the barcodes in the pantry, and decide they're too different from my puzzle. I have no other ideas now, so I stay and help my dad with dinner. After we eat, my parents banish me to my room, which is fine. I zigzag up the stairs, knowing the puzzle will stare at me until I figure it out. And I will. Otherwise, the paper wins, and a kid should be able to beat a piece of paper any day. I plant my feet on the hall floor just outside my room, pull the door mostly shut and grab the doorknob. I lean in open door I lean in and the opening door pulls me into the room, diagonally. I let go, flop on the floor, and drag myself to the bed like a guy in the desert crawling toward an oasis. Except a page with skinny lines is not an oasis. I lift myself enough so my hands can grasp the top side of my bed. I let my arms hoist me up until I'm eye level with the bed's surface and the puzzle paper. And I'm a genius. At least I think I'm a genius. From this angle, the lines have gotten shorter. The lines have turned into letters. And right now, I have only one question. Why am I giving them 7 nails? And I'll stop the video there, ending chapter 16, but in the next video we'll be continuing the read along of the 7th level with chapter 17. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, please take good care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take good care.